Have you ever been to prison? Well, I spent 2 hours in a prison cell when I was a teenager, and I have to say that was probably the worst thing that I had ever experienced at that time, and it probably still is right up there in the top 10 of things I've experienced in 71 years. My name is Pam, if you're new to my channel, and this is my dog Matrix right here. Wanna say hi? He decided to be in my lap this morning, and 6 years now. On the end of this month, I will have been living in a van. This is my second one. So, and I've been living in 2 vans in the last 6 years. Matrix has been with me almost 2 years. What is the most surprising thing that has come to a realization to me, a revelation, I guess, just recently about living in a van? And as I just said, living in prison. I think that's what I did for, what, 50 years at least? So I've learned that living in a van really is freedom. I don't care what anybody says, it really is freedom. I have the freedom to go where I want to go, when I want to go there. Now, you may be in your life, you may have the same thing, and so that is an amazing thing. That's awesome, don't you think? To be living in freedom. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have constraints, because I do, obviously. I have weather. Maybe I'm stuck for 3 days. I've had that happen to me before, and I wasn't able to leave. So, or maybe, I have a breakdown. I'm tied up because my generator is broken. And these are some restraints that I might have, but freedom is still there, always. I can right now, I can just close my computer and walk up there and get in my seat and drive away. Now, I am right now with family for the holidays for a period of time, but that doesn't mean I couldn't just walk up there, get in my van, and drive away. A lot of the things that we put on ourselves, I think that take away from our freedom are self-imposed. I lived my whole life with a job that caused me so that I didn't have freedom. I was trading time for money, but the money didn't do me any good because I didn't have any freedom to go with it. I think that sometimes relationships, marriages can cause you to not have the kind of freedom that is really free. And again, that doesn't mean that I don't have restraints, because I do, but that feeling, and I can remember the first time I got in my van to drive away with I had a destination, but it was like that open road was in front of me. And I can remember smiling. I was like, finally, I'm free. But it wasn't until just recently that I realized that I really am free. I think I was still living in a lot of a self-imposed prison over the last nearly 6 years, I guess. Or I think this is a gradual thing that happened. And I had freedom, and then not so freedom. But those were things that I put upon myself. And it hasn't been until just recently that I realized that all of those things are something that I did to myself. I don't know if I just went away. Matrix just made the screen really small. I love my dog. But knowing that and realizing that, for me at least, it's made me understand that I can, in fact, live a free life. And today, I just want to know from you if you live a free life, or do you have some self-imposed constraints on your life that you can maybe think through and get rid of? Again, I've never been to prison except for 2 hours. But if you have ever, and maybe there's somebody on here that has actually been in prison for a period of time, and if that is true, then you know what I'm talking about. That day when you walked out of that prison cell, I'm sure you had a smile on your face. It was like, man, that is over. I can move on with the next thing. I can live my life. And that's kind of how it felt for me too, my self-imposed prison. And that may be you too. I don't know. But that realization has come over me, that revelation, and I'm so happy that it's here. Now, I plan on staying here through the holidays, although I'm counting the days. 1 week from today, I get to leave. But again, I could leave right now if I wanted to, because that's the kind of freedom that I have. Anything that is not what I want to do when I want to do it is a self-imposed prison. Takes my freedom away. I'm not being selfish about this, although some people may think that I am. But at my age, I have learned that if I don't take care of myself, nobody else is going to. It's as simple as that. And maybe that's something that you need to learn too. Take care of yourself. Don't go to prison. Don't live your life in a prison. And van life may not be the answer for you. It was for me. And so I'm surprised now that it really worked. That it did what I intended it to do in the beginning. It's just taken me a long time to realize that it actually did work. Whatever your idea of freedom is, what it is that you need to get rid of in your life. And again, if you are living in a perfectly free life right now, God bless you. I'm so happy for you. And tell me how long you've been doing it, because it gives inspiration to me and to others. But if you're not, then think about what you can do to change that. Because, this cliche, but we only have so many days on this earth. And I think we should live them to our absolute fullest. So I have the freedom today to go and do what I want to do. And so I don't have to answer to anybody except my dog. And that's what I'm going to do. So surprisingly, I have learned, I have the revelation that I really am living free. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you again next time.